Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Stuff HD podcast. My name is Javier, aka Stuff. I keep saying that as if people don't know by now. If people don't know, they must be new. I guess that makes sense. But anyway, in front of me, I have
Equis up in the house.
You forgot to say Equis.
Equis.
People look forward to that L.
It's powerful.
Equis.
Equis.
So Equis, status as far as best rapper in Milwaukee area. Is it still the best rapper in the south side of Milwaukee area?
Yeah, it still remains the same.
Same.
Nothing changed.
Not better, but not worse.
No, it stays the same.
Stay the same.
Consistency.
Awesome.
That's all.
It's important.
That's what I'm about.
Consistently
Average.
average.
Conformed. Once I get like the whole city, I'm like, nah, I gotta take it down a notch. Like
It's like this podcast, it's consistently below average. So we don't get better. This is as good as it gets. Anyway, that person that was listening to for the first time, they just left.
Yeah, they left the chat.
They left the chat. I have a Discord chat that I created the other day, and then I went into it, and Guillermo joined, but I haven't been back on it because I kind of forgot about it until just now.
Discord, man, I don't know how to feel about Discord. Like, Discord sounds like a good idea, but at the same time, it's kind of like all the Discord chats that I've joined, I'm like, man, I don't know how to navigate because they're always different. Like,
yeah, Discord reminds me very much of the old days.
Yeah,
like
kind of.
not ICQ, IQ. No, what was it? IRC, Internet Relay Chat. Were you ever into IRC channels?
No, never.
Back in the day, I mean, they're still around, but back in the day, we used to go into these chat rooms, and they were IRC, which was much better than the AOL chat rooms. I went into an AOL chat room once, and before that, my email address never got spam. After that, it was every day. And all I did was join. And, as soon as you join, right away, you get a bunch of people going like ASL.
ASL. Yeah, that was my thing. But I was in high school during the prime of that. So
but
I was ASLing everybody.
ASLing everybody. Not sure why. But, like people would ask, like you were telling the truth. Everybody was lying.
I know.
So anyway, so IRC, they were a little bit different, and they were kind of fun because basically you would create a channel, and it's funny because the channels were with the hashtag symbol and then the channel name, so they were basically hashtags.
Yeah,
and you would create a channel, and then people would join, and you could have a moderator and people in charge, and it was just fun. But the most fun part, obviously, as a moderator, you would be able to like kick people out and do stuff like that. And we have bots, just like Discord has bots that would allow you to do special things. But the most fun part was always like the wars, because like I would go into channel Puerto Rico, and there's a bunch of different servers, so there's a bunch of different channel Puerto Ricos. They're not all the same. But if you were in a server that would split from the other server, we had like server splits, like basically the connection would disconnect for a second, and then your server was left with just you. You could like hop out of the channel, go back into the channel, and then you would be a moderator in the channel because it was like you just created it. Yeah. And then when it came back, you would be a moderator because then it didn't know what to do, and then you could start kicking people out. And then you would take over the server until the nets split, when they would all come back and kick you out.
That's funny. I never reached that phase.
So yeah, that was fun doing. So whenever we would start, in the Puerto Rico chat room, we had a bunch of people, and whenever we would start to see a whole lot of people like leaving at the same time, we were like, oh shit, like there's a net split happening. Yeah. Everybody get ready.
That's funny. That's cool.
But yeah, that's what Discord reminds me of. And for all I know, it is heavily based on it.
Yeah. I would think that to me, it seems like it's almost like trying to make it like oldie retro type.
The one thing I don't like about Discord is the fact that, I mean, it's very gamer. It's obviously what's the word when you make it specifically for
niche. Like
not niche, but it's made for gamers, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And obviously plenty of people use it for other things.
Yeah.
But when you go into the search and stuff like that, like it only looks for video games. And like that's kind of annoying, I can totally see how it could be useful for games. I mean, they have like voice chat rooms, and apparently those are cool. I don't know. I used to use a different software for voice back in the day when we used to do that. I don't know anything about Discord, and I've just been wasting all of your times talking about it because I don't know about it. But hey, there's a Stuff Networks Discord out there, and maybe one day it'll become something. Who knows?
Yeah. Like I would think like it would have to be like you don't have like anything specific that you're using it for. Like you just have it just to have it.
I just have it just to have it. I did set up like a prolific creator channel, and then so it's from my understanding is this Stuff Networks channel, and then there's the prolific creator section, and then the Stuff HD section. Because I'm like, okay, I do different things maybe, but that's a just in case.
So if people are creators and they want to be interviewed in your prolific creator, they can join the chat.
They can join the chat, and they won't find me there because I'm not there.
Like, do you get?
I think my phone is still connected to it, so
I would think you would get notifications if somebody send you a message. Because like, doesn't Discord work by invite?
I don't know. I
remember when the several Discords I've joined because people are like, oh, join our Discord, and I'm like, okay.
I always see that.
Then I get kicked out even.
And I've always been like, what the hell is a Discord? I don't like. So I always, I did eventually find out that it was kind of a chat thing, but I just haven't ever really looked into it. So I'm at that point where I still start to feel old because I'm like, I can't keep up with shit anymore. I remember back in the days, I used to be all over Dig. You remember Dig, the website?
No, I've never been there.
So it was a website full of random news and stuff, and it was basically what Reddit is now. I mean, Reddit is much bigger, but I've never, I hear of people that are really into Reddit, that are always like wasting all their time in Reddit. I'm like, I never go on Reddit unless. I actually search for something that ends up looking in Reddit, somewhere in Reddit. Like it has become a place for a lot of help as far as like tech help. You search on
That's
Google
for
where
I end up. Reddit.
So then you end up on a Reddit page. But it's never been a thing for me. Now again, I used to waste plenty of time on Dig. For whatever reason, Reddit just doesn't quite do it for me.
It's funny, and like, you're kind of talking about some of the retro and like things we used to go into. Like I remember back, man, in high school, like I was really into flash games. Like you would go to this website and just play video games online. Like it was like, oh look, you get to play some games. And there'll be like stick figure games and like just bad animation games, and you just play because hey, it's free.
They were basically Flappy Bird.
Yeah. Yeah, like that was kind of cool. Like I wonder if they still have those. I haven't.
Did you ever get into the Facebook ones?
No, I've never done any of the Facebook ones.
I did for a while, really getting to Farmville.
Okay.
And then I hated myself for it, so I quit. And then I also really got into what's that one with the jewels? Candy Crush.
What, they were like Bejeweled or something?
No, Candy Crush. And I think, I've mentioned how after seeing somebody level 300 something, I was like, no, screw that. I'm not going to keep
playing. Yeah.
I'm not going to keep playing the shit. It apparently doesn't end. So no. So yeah, those are the only two that I ever got into. I hate when people keep sending me invites. Like
Yeah, like to games. Like who does that?
like no, I'm not gonna join this stupid game. Since I'm talking about Facebook, this has nothing to do with the games or anything, but it just came to my mind. And I feel like I have to give this warning every once in a while. But again, I am starting to notice a lot of people on Facebook doing stupid quizzes or stupid little games that require these companies that they don't know anything about giving them access to your profile. And shit just got serious, by the way. No, because, have you noticed this? A lot of times people are like, oh,
I did this quiz.
Yeah, I did this quiz, and this is my result.
Score,
Like,
yeah.
check it out. And some of them you can do, and it doesn't ask you for any of your Facebook info, and those are okay. I mean, probably better to not do them anyway, but then so many of them require you whenever I see that they have the person's face on the results, like the person's profile picture, I know that it is a little test or a little game or something that asked them for permission in order to access their account in order to do this. Like, I don't know, the ones that go like, oh, let's see what you're gonna look like when you're old.
Yeah.
So they take your face and then they morph it so that it looks like you're old. Well, in order for them to do that, they need permission, your permission to go into your profile. And usually when they ask for your permission to go into your profile, they also ask for permission to look at your friend list and look at your posts. And, they tell you, oh, we're not going to post without your permission. But they do have the ability to see a ton of information.
Yeah.
And that's messed up. We few months ago, maybe a year, I don't know. There was all that issue with leaks and a lot of information that had been stolen from Facebook or taken illegally from people. And basically, people need to take this more seriously, because it doesn't matter if you are on Facebook and your Facebook is private and you're very careful with that stuff. If your friend is going around giving permission for their Facebook, like giving some random app permission to see their Facebook, they're also giving them permission to see everything that you posted that they can see.
Yeah, because a lot of times if you have it on private, and like other people who are not your friends cannot see it, so once
Correct.
you give them permission, they become kind of your friends in a way.
Exactly. Like if you might be private, and maybe I'm the only one that can see your stuff, but then if I'm giving this other app permission to see what I can see, then they can see what you're.
Yeah, when I'm posting.
So it's kind of an invasion of your friend's privacy in any case. So I'm getting to the point, like, I mean, really, I probably won't do anything because I don't really care, because I don't really even use Facebook all that much, just to read sometimes once in a while. But just for the hell of it, I'm starting to think maybe I should start deleting these people that do post.
They constantly do it.
Yeah, because you're not just messing up your security, you're messing up that of others.
Yeah. And it becomes a chain effect, because if you share something and then somebody else like, oh, I'll do this game.
Yeah.
And then it keeps spreading to more and more people.
These, you might be thinking that you're giving Facebook permission, but no, you're giving these companies that you don't know absolutely anything about them. You're giving them permission to see everything that you've ever posted on your Facebook. So, like, really think about that. People are always like, oh, I don't want a Google Home thing because Google's gonna be listening to me, or oh, Amazon's gonna be listening to me. Well, yeah, what about these no-name companies that you're just allowing them just because you want to see how old you're gonna look when you're 80? Like, this thing is actually gonna show you what you look like.
Right.
So yeah, I just wish people would be more careful with that.
Yep.
It's my PSA of the day.
And Facebook, and it's funny because, like, you know, you talk about Facebook, and, you know, it's a constant thing with, like, privacy, or how some people like to say privacy.
Privacy? I like that word better.
Privacy. Yeah,
but I also like schedule instead of schedule. And I like Wednesday instead of Wednesday. And
I like aluminium.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like aluminium. To me, aluminium sounds cooler.
Especially because, you know, we speak Spanish, and in Spanish we say aluminio. So it's aluminio. Like a more perfect translation.
Honestly, I always thought it was aluminium. And that people were just
saying it
wrong.
But then I looked at the spelling, how they had it. Yeah,
it is aluminum. I was like, oh, wait. I always thought it was aluminium. Kind of like Wednesday. That one's definitely wrong because we always say Wednesday instead of Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah, that's how I used to say as a kid, Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's how I learned, you know, how you do like those spelling tests?
Yeah.
And like, how do you spell Wednesday? Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay.
There's a day that you wed.
Like, well, so when I first heard people, I think it was people from India that were saying Wednesday. I don't know if people in the UK also say Wednesday, but I know I kept hearing this guy from India saying Wednesday. I was like, why is he saying it like that? But then I looked at the word and I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense for it to be Wednesday. That's exactly how you write it.
Yeah. And there's other words that we don't say how you write them, but that's just probably we just getting lazy.
And it's usually French words too. Those I gave up with. You know, French words. French to me, such a weird language because nothing gets read the way you would expect it. You know, like it's not rendezvous, it's rendezvous.
Oh yeah. This is how you say, yeah.
Yeah. So every time I see a French word, I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna try, because normally, a lot of languages, if you write it in Roman letters, that's kind of how it sounds, but no, not French.
And just like how we were talking about privacy.
Privacy. Oh yeah, back to privacy.
Back to the privacy. You know, like when Facebook released that. What's it called? That Facebook, not the tablet. What is it called? Where you can video chat with people.
Oh yeah, the portal.
The portal. And I'm like, who in their right mind? like Facebook has such an issue with privacy that is like, why would you allow this thing that has a camera and a microphone,
not just a camera,
and it follows you,
a very wide angle camera.
It's like, okay, if you're really talking about privacy, like, why even buy this? Like, at least a Google Home, they just get your voice. Like at this, like I remember I was at this this lawyer was speaking, like he did like a little presentation, and he's saying like nowadays it's so hard to even use just audio for evidence. Like nowadays you really need video and audio evidence for like a lot of things.
And soon you won't even be able to use those.
Yeah, because of the fake deeps. But like at least with the Google Home, all they're getting for what's it called, incrimination is audio. Yeah. But with this Facebook portal, you're getting both video and audio evidence on you.
And again, it's very good quality, wide angle video.
It looks really nice. Like
it does.
It makes you want to buy it. Like, oh, my mom could have it on the other side.
Like the reason that it is able to follow you is again because it is very wide, but then it just zooms into the area where you are. So again, what you see, there is a lot more being captured than what you see.
You can't just hide off on the side.
Yeah. So is there a company, though, that you would trust with your data?
Man, like as much like who does the best job with your data? Like I know you were telling me a little bit about how the difference between how Google does things and how Apple does their data collecting. Can you go into that a little bit?
Well, here's the thing. And personally, I'm not one of these people that are so afraid of their data because I'm boring as hell. So I'm like, who cares? But like Google, for example, yeah, they use your data for advertisement. They have never hidden that. Like, it's always been their main business. Like, so it's not a surprise for me that they are using my data. But I'm getting a lot of free services from them, so I don't mind. And again, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm a pretty boring guy. I'm not like a high government official or anything like that. I'm just Javier from, not even from the block. I'm from the Javier from the suburbs.
Javier from the burbs.
Javier from the burbs.
Not even the burbs. It's like the rural little towns.
Javier from the village.
There we go, from the village.
So yeah, I'm like, I don't care. Google can have most of my data. And personally, I rather, I decided a long time ago that I'm going to give most of my data to Google just because I would rather have one company having most of my data. And I'm still hoping that one day we're going to get to a point where I'm going to be able to ask Google, like, hey, Google, what movie am I going to like? And it's just going to tell me right. And then it turns out to be right. Oh, crap. Sorry, I said, hey, G. So,
hey, G.
So our phones started going crazy. And if I got your phone going crazy, I apologize.
Nobody listens to this. So.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, so yeah, Google uses your data to sell, basically. And that's that. Now, if you are more, if you worry a bit more about this stuff, then you might want to give Apple your business, because Apple is not in the business of selling data. They're in the business of selling phones, tablets, laptops.
Yeah.
Hardware. Yeah, basically. That's why their cloud game has never been great, because it's not their main concern.
Yeah.
They do things like, they improve, like Apple Photos app, their Photos app. It is getting closer to what Google does with the Google Photos. And they do it just to stay competitive. They don't do it because they want to sell you this stuff. And obviously, they're not giving you like free unlimited storage like Google does. If you want to store more, you're going to have to pay for that. But it's not their bread and butter.
Yeah.
So that's why, technically you are going to be a little bit safer with Apple, but at the same time, you're not safe with any of them.
Yeah.
like if your main concern is the government, the big bad government, getting your data, all they have to do is go to court, get a court order, and then those companies have to give them your data anyway. So, when it comes to that, you're not safe anywhere. You're going to have to start doing your own backups of your own everything, and then encrypting everything very, very well.
Yeah, like you're in a life of crime, like you know.
If you're into crime, just stick to analog.
Right.
Don't
get a flip phone.
Get a flip phone. One you can easily burn.
If you need a note, you're gonna have to like edible paper and just swallow it.
And then burn it with fire later. Now there's some good apps out there that really help with encryption and stuff. There are some that advertise specifically for that, like Telegram, but I've heard Telegram has its issues. There's others like for messaging, but usually they're not going to be popular because they are going to be a pain in the ass. If you want a good application for like testing that is going to be very reliable, very safe, then that means that you, every time you go to open a message, you're going to have to type in a password, and then it's going to have to decrypt the message on your phone, and it's going to be a pain. Nobody's going to want to use it, and that's the problem nowadays, because of people want privacy, but they also want easy, and you can't have you can't really have both. like with the iPhone, for example, the whole Face ID or fingerprint and all that. You know, you can use that. It's safe but it's not gonna be as safe as you storing a really good password in your brain.
Yeah.
Because again, cops can force you to use your finger to unlock your phone, or they can force you to look at your iPhone to unlock it. Like the judge can give the order for you to have to do that, but they cannot give an order for you to have to tell them what you know.
Password, yeah.
So
it's like one of those. It's just funny because, you know, like let's say they say, you have to type in your password, right? You know how some apples have that feature when you enter the password like 3 times wrong, it deletes everything. You just do that.
Yeah.
I'm nervous here. I think it's.
I typed it wrong. I don't know. I got so many passwords in my brain, man. I don't know which one it was.
Or you can be like that one kid who typed the password so many times wrong that he got locked out of his iPhone account for like 1,000 years.
Jeez. So yeah, like easy and safe don't go together.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever you're thinking about that stuff, like think about that. Like if it's easy, then it's not safe. But honestly, I'm like, what are we? I think a lot of us worry about this stuff because we hear people talking about it, and I'm like, well, what the hell are we so worried about?
Yeah.
Maybe we lived in another country, and you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'm like, here we have the blessing, in my opinion, that we live in a country where we can go ahead and say whatever the hell we want online, and we're safe for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, I say that fully knowing that if you're more of a high-profile person, you might not be able to say whatever you want.
Yeah,
and
there are repercussions.
Yeah. And yeah, that is in this.
Depends what we say. Yeah,
that is something to always think about. Like, you know, you might be totally free here, but still be careful with what you say, because the laws might not be able to get you, but people can.
Yeah, and not only that, but like right now we're like, we're the bottom right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can say whatever I want here, and
yeah, but then eventually, let's say you wanted to be president. Like, remember that?
I already gave up all hopes and dreams of ever becoming president because I've said plenty of stupid stuff.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, see, we're aware.
Yeah, I'm aware
that we've said some things that are like, okay, that's kind of questionable.
I've been podcasting, YouTubing, doing forums for many years. I have said so many things that there's no way that I would ever run for office. Because it would all just come out.
Yeah, and you know, they dig deep.
They do. They find stuff that is impressive. Then again, you know, it would be kind of nice to have somebody looking at my content.
So your views will go up.
My views will go up.
There you go. We should.
I'm running for president.
I should run for alderman so I can get more views on my rap songs.
There you go.
Hey,
it's like, this guy's a rapper. Let's check him out.
Yeah, let's get dirt on them.
They'll start getting all those lyrics that you copy from. I mean,
copy from other people,
from Immortal Technique, and
no, I never copied. As you know when you're writing a paper, and the teacher's like, okay, you know, you do research, use your own words. So you just go to the article, you grab the whole paragraph, and you just flip the words around. You add different.
Instead of assassinated, it's killed.
Or murdered. You just change some of the words, and then it becomes your own paper. So.
Yeah, it becomes your own.
So it's not copying.
It's like a beat. You change one little part, and
instead of going
a whole
like
new beat.
It'll be yeah.
So anyway, that's privacy.
Yes.
It's. I always say, like if there's stuff online, like if you're gonna put something online, just always assume that it's public.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing really private online. Like I've seen so many cases where, for Facebook, for example, they mess up, and all of a sudden your private posts become public. And yeah, maybe it only happens for a few hours or minutes.
But if you're a high profile, they'll screenshot
exactly.
it. Or somebody who tweets for like and leaves a tweet up for 10 seconds. Somebody might in those 10 seconds might.
Yeah, there have been plenty of mistake tweets that have been captured. Like, so. Yeah, I'm like, I had a friend asking not long ago, like, oh, how do I post this picture so that certain people can see it, but other people can't, because the person is trying to avoid issues. And I'm like, just don't post it. Like, if you really don't want somebody to see it, just don't post it, because it could get done. You know how many people have, how often somebody that you don't want seeing something is also friends with somebody that you're okay with, so then they end up seeing it from their friends. Yeah, like that type of stuff happens all the time. So just don't post. If that's what you're gonna be afraid of, just don't post.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny because talking about that, like I remember when we have like what is it called, the Cash App.
Yeah.
Like, and you know how we find it so useful to be able to send like each other ducats when we go out. Well, like I was trying to get my brother into it. Like, oh, I can send you ducats, you can send me ducats, and we all get rich. I don't know. And
sending each other ducats.
Like he had like the biggest concern. Like, what if they steal my money? What if they get into my account? Like, this is legit. This is not like some bottom of the barrel company. Like from what I understand, like they're
Cash App is from Square. Square has been doing this for many years, and they are definitely a company that I would trust. They are publicly traded company. Like, this is a legit company.
Yeah, like they don't want to lose stocks.
Yeah, exactly.
But like like it was just like, man, I don't want them to get. And then when you have to sign up for that thing, you have to do like verification that you're the person. You either had to put in your like driver's license information or something. Like, oh, he was like so concerned, like, oh, they're gonna take my identity. And like, no, if somebody wants to take your identity, they don't have to do it through this app. They can just steal your wallet or take a picture when you're paying at the checkout line or whatever.
I have used so many different ways, so many applications that connect to my bank account, and yeah, obviously I tend to be careful. Like, I don't just give my bank account information to just any application. Like, it needs to be an application that I trust. Like, when Google Wallet came out, I allow Google Wallet into my bank account because I know it's Google. Like, I can't trust Google. Like, they might make a mistake one day, but I know that they're not just gonna rob me and for the hell of it,
It's not in their best interest.
Exactly, and it has never happened. Google has never taken out money that I didn't allow them to. Square with the Cash App, again, I trust Square. Square has been, whenever you go to the beach or some flea market or something, and they have like a little cell phone thing where you can pay with your credit card. That's Square. That's usually the company that they're using. So they had the Cash App, and I absolutely love the Cash App because it reminds me of the original Google Wallet before Google messed it up.
Yeah.
There's Venmo. I've never really used Venmo, but I know a lot of people used to use it before Square. No, I'm sure a lot of people still use Venmo. And if I ever find somebody that has Venmo and I need to send them money, then I'll install Venmo and then have that work with. I use Apple Pay too, and they take money from everybody takes money from my bank account except me. No, but I tend to trust these companies because they're big companies. Like, I don't think that they're it's in their, like you say, it's not in their best interest to go just stealing my money. I'm not gonna go give my bank account information to Juan Bobo LLC or
yeah.
So yeah.
And the good thing about Square Cash is like if you have your card, but you can like control like how much money you have in your card, so they can't take more than that preset. So that'll be like a good one to give, like, you know, if you had like a son or a daughter, and like, okay, here's $100, you know, take this card.
Indeed. And one of my nephews, he was going to be staying. He was going on a school trip, and they were going to be staying. I think it wasn't when he went to Chicago. I think they went to Vermont actually, and so I told my sister, just get one of these cash cards. That way, whenever he needs money, you can just add money to the cash card, and then he can go to an ATM and take money out, or he can just use it with the card. And so they did that, and it worked out great.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, these are like basically prepaid credit cards, so or prepaid debit cards, I should say. So it's not going to allow anybody to take out more than what you have there. So I don't do it because I'm not as careful as I should be. But I do tell people, like, you should just, like, instead of carrying your bank card with you, just carry like that cash card or any other one of those, because that way you can just put whatever amount of money you think you're gonna need for the day, and then use that, so that if you end up taking money out of an ATM and you leave the card, then there's no risk of having more money being taken out, or something. Or if you lose your wallet, then you don't lose all your other credit cards.
Yeah, so that's like the one I usually take. Like if I'm gonna take one card, I just take that one, and just that's the only card I carry. Because if I need to spend more, I just add more on my phone.
Yeah,
and I can do that.
I keep telling people to do that. I just don't do it myself. And one day I'm gonna lose my wallet, and I'm gonna be like, "Damn it! Why didn't I?" But yeah, I think that's honestly the best way to go.
The only like drawback with that is because it is a debit card. So if you go pay for a gas, when you pay gas, sometimes
gas stations, it sucks.
So the only way around it that I figured out is if you have a loyalty card through that gas station, sometimes they don't take out those because they do like $100 deposit.
They do,
or you have to go inside.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like if you really need gas and you have one of these cards, just go inside, tell them, hey, give me, I don't know, $40 on one or whatever, and then do it that way. But if you try to pay at the pump always verifies, and this changes on gas stations, but it tries to take out like over $100 just to make sure that you have the funds.
Yeah.
Now, this happens with every credit card, but normally a bank or a credit card company, you don't see it because the money gets taken out, but then it goes right back in a few days later.
Yeah.
But when it's one of these debit cards, like the cash or others, I was gonna say the Google Wallet, but because this happened to me with Google Wallet. I had I remember I had a little bit over $100 and I was like, oh, I need gas in my car, so I'm going to put gas. And at this point in my life, I was broke. Like these were the $100 that I had, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put like $20 of gas. That should get me through to the 15th. When I get paid, I should be all good. And all of a sudden it says rejected, declined. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I know that I had the money. And I look at my app, and it went from 100 something to 0. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I want my money back. Like, it didn't. And then they're like, oh, no, you're going to have to wait like 5 days for it to process. And then the money's going to go right back. I'm like, but no, I need this money now. Like, I need to buy food.
Yeah.
So that sucked. That's how I learned the hard way to not use those cards at the pump.
Yeah, for sure.
There is a service, I forget what it's called. Since we're giving advice, there's a service. Hold on 1 second while I search for the name, because I really want to give you guys the name. All right. So the name of the service that I was thinking of is actually called Privacy, and it's really cool for online. And again, this is another one of those things that I keep telling people they should do, but I don't do it. But basically, what you can do is you link it to your bank account, and basically it allows you to create credit cards, like debit cards, basically. So, but you can make these cards, or these cards actually can only be used with one vendor. So, for example, Netflix, you can create a card just for Netflix, and this is just for online. But you would do it just for Netflix, and you would put down that it can only take out $15 a month. So then every month, Netflix can charge that card, but they can never go past the $15 that you said, or whatever it is that you normally pay for Netflix, obviously. Yeah. But then for each specific thing that you're paying online, you can create a whole new card, and this is completely free, by the way. And you know, the way they make money, like a lot of other companies that do this type of stuff make money. Basically, when you add money to the cards, that's money that's going into their savings account, and they make interest on that money that they are holding for you. So anyway, you can make all these cards very specific to a service. So you know, if one service gets hacked and they take all those credit card numbers, well, they're just gonna have the credit card for that particular one, and then they can only take out whatever amount you set up. So it's a cool service. I just haven't gone through the hassle of changing everything, because it is kind of a hassle, but I really like the idea, and I really, really want to actually take the time to do it, because I do have like Netflix, Hulu, and a whole bunch of other services that I'm like, you know what, I should go ahead and do it, because I don't want to be putting my credit card information out there just like that. Yeah. Also, Apple Pay and Google Pay. If you have Apple Pay or Google Pay on your phone and you're paying at a place that allows you to use that, you should use it, because when you transfer your information from your phone, from Apple Pay or Google Pay or Samsung Pay, or they are transferring a different credit card information. You know, it's using a token, like a token, and it's transferring a unique credit card information that is going to be replaced later. So it's not transferring your actual information, so the vendor is not getting your actual credit card information. So again, there's a lot of things out there that are actually really good, but then people like your brother, they don't trust these. Yeah. So they are actually more at risk by not using this than they would be by using it. So.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of like told them, like you're using this, and they can't take more than. So this is like the safest way if you're gonna go to like on a vacation. Like if you're in Mexico and you lose your wallet or you lose something, like at least they can't take more than that. Because like you just done like now it's like you have to do the job of protecting yourself. You can't assume that companies are going to protect you. Yeah. You know, that they're safe, because a hacker is going to hack the company. They're not going to hack you specifically, because you're just one person. They want to get a bunch of people. Exactly. So you have to do the job of protecting yourself, and using these kind of tools, like you can protect yourself. Like don't. You know, people are always like, "Oh, that's why I want to get a gun. I want to protect myself." Well, this is your gun right here. Yeah, protect yourself from hackers.
Have to. You basically have to be more up to date with, and I get it. It's a pain. It's a pain to try to be up to date, but and it's difficult sometimes to trust new technology. Yeah. But that new technology is there to kind of protect you in a way. So yeah, like don't. Even if you don't know, like find I'm sure you probably have a friend that knows this type of stuff, or listen to the Stuff HD podcast, and we can help you out too. You know, you can always email StuffHD at stuffhd.com. Is that my? Yeah, that is my email. I had to really think about it, but you know, I'm always happy to help if I can.
We should do
consultation
videos on tips. Like, send us a question, a tip, and then we can do a video on a tip.
I haven't made a video on YouTube forever because I don't even know what to talk about. Like, send me ideas, ask me questions. I'm there.
And that's the thing. Like me, I'm like the most tech guy of my family. So it's like when I give you a recommendation on tech, it's coming from a place of either I've tried it before, and I either like it or don't like it. So like anything I recommend is because I usually have used it.
And look, I'm not saying that because I recommend that it's good, but it's been good for me, at least, you know. Otherwise, I wouldn't be recommending it.
Yeah, it's like somebody when they ask me, should I get an Apple or an Android? Like, I'll ask you questions and be like, okay, like, what's your lifestyle?
Yeah.
Okay,
there's no
you want
easy
simple?
answer.
All right, then you go this. If you want like all these crazy apps and whatever, then you go this other route. So it's like, it all depends on the person, and I do my best to give them what's good for them, not for what's good for me, but what would be good for them.
Yeah. Although sometimes it is difficult because, you know, we have our biases.
Yeah.
But you know, you try to think about the person. You know, like I know a lot of people who are great with Android. But I keep seeing a lot of people that I'm like, just let go of Android, please. You're making a mess. Just get an iPhone. It'll be so much easier for you. But yeah, that's the life of a tech geek.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other recommendations since this became a podcast about privacy, which is okay because we didn't have a topic. So.
I'm trying to see if there's anything
but no, I can't really think of anything.
But yeah, definitely. I've been trying to use my Samsung Pay a lot more, and you get like a lot of you get perks. Like I was like here on Samsung Pay, what I could do is using my Samsung Pay, I can buy a gift card from a place. Let's say it's Applebee's, so I can buy a Applebee's gift card that's $50, but I can buy it for $40. So I buy that gift card, and then when I go to Applebee's, I basically saved $10 because I bought this gift cards ahead of time. So you save $10 in a way. So you can do and then sometimes they have like gift cards of the week. So you can I'm waiting for there to be a Best Buy one. Like, buy this Best Buy gift card for $80, $100 value for $80.
I know, what's the name? The Square Cash.
Oh yeah,
they had a boost.
Yeah, I use that for Chipotle.
Yeah, so they have a boost where you save a little bit of money if you either do coffees or Chipotle or stuff like that. So you know, sometimes they have cool little perks.
Yeah, and you try to use those as much as you can.
All right,
have them.
We are actually out of time, so hopefully you guys found some of this information useful. And you know, the podcast was not late today. I decided to move this podcast to Fridays. It is no longer going to be on Wednesdays. It is now going to be on Fridays. Because I do the Prolific Creator on Wednesdays, so I figure I don't want to be posting 2 podcasts on the same day. That kind of, yeah. So maybe one should be Fridays and the other one should be Mondays. But then
midweek, you need a midweek hump.
Yeah. Anyway, we are done for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please. I was gonna say give us a like, but that's not how this works.
Send us an email
send us an email
with things you would like to learn more about, like want our take on it.
Yeah. stuff@stuffhd.com, or you can contact me on Twitter and Instagram @stuffnetworks, and Equis here.
Instagram and Twitter. Instagram mostly. L.Equis. Instagram and Twitter.
Instagram.
I need more friends on there, more followers, and I'll follow back. Follow for a follow.
I have always refused to do that. Like I did it once on Twitter, and I ended up with over 1,000 followers because I was following over 1,000 people, and I was like, nah, screw this. Like,
yeah.
I was getting so many updates on my Twitter, and I didn't care about any of them. So then I just unfollowed everybody that I was following. And I still ended up with like over 500 followers, which I know were just people that never bothered to check.
Yeah.
That I was no longer following.
See,
them.
that's what I like about Twitter, that you can see who's following you, so that they're not following you, like unfollow.
So yeah, my Twitter became useless. So then I unfollowed everybody, and now I just follow a few people that I kind of care to follow. But even on Instagram, I tend to do that because otherwise I end up with all these pictures of people that I don't know, and I'm like, why? So
I use
but then my thing doesn't grow. My Instagram doesn't grow. So I've been like at 125 followers on Instagram for like years now.
You got to start doing things that are you got to start trolling.
I gotta start trolling. No, I don't care for any of that.
Like that YouTuber that kissed his sister for views.
Yeah, that no, definitely that's yeah. All right, well, you all take care.
That's for the next. That's for the next episode.
No, it's not. That's for another podcast, maybe. All right, you all take care. We're out of here. Bye.